When we do the countdown, we have 13 days to Christmas, and I'm sure you are as thrilled as I am about the Yuletide. Well, this is where we make your journey to Christmas even a lot better, keeping you informed, educated, and also entertained. And you know, it's a beautiful Friday morning, which means that we are getting ready for the weekend. And yes, here on the show this morning from now till 10 a.m., we'll be bringing you insightful conversations. We'll talk about all the raging stories that have made the headlines in the course of the week. Yes, there's been so much to talk about regards the Office of the Special Prosecutor. You remember that President John Dramani Mahama has waded into the conversation. He says, you know what? There is no need to scrap the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and as such, he has also instructed the Majority Leader and his whip in Parliament to withdraw the private members' motion they had filed, basically to seek the annulment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And so much is happening on that front, but then there is the issue around Pandai and the chaos we witnessed in Parliament on Tuesday. The MPs from the minority side say, Aluta, we will not allow this to happen because this is an injustice. Pandai MP Matthew Nyindam does not deserve what Parliament is doing, especially when he's also activated processes at the Supreme Court. And we've seen how that has also traveled. Yesterday, I engaged the MPP and NDC on the matter, and it looks like both are still taking entrenched positions, while the NDC believes that, yes, it is apt for Parliament to indicate to the Electoral Commission the vacancy of the Pandai seat. The MPP believes that this is a travesty of justice, and indeed the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is seeking to lead the MPP into the 2028 elections as well, has also added his voice, practically condemning what he says is the use of state institutions to railroad Matthew Nyindam as Member of Parliament for Pandai. But the Electoral Commission has served notice. On the 30th of December, all things being equal, we are going to Pandai for the parliamentary rerun in the constituency. And then John Dramani Mahama, President of the land, has also brought some finality, I should say, to the matter surrounding religious tolerance or discrimination, as has been the case in senior high schools. He says there's an MOU that says if a student has to fast, the parents should just notify the school and say, you know what, our ward is fasting, and so allow our ward to fast. Whatever be the consequences as a result of that fasting, it does not fall on the school. It falls squarely at the doorstep of the parents. And so quite a number of things that have happened in the course of the week. And yes, we'll be getting into the conversation shortly. But then, as we always do on Fridays, we invite you to also tell us exactly what is on your mind. And so let's get into Inside Out now. Yes, it's a Friday, and of course, it's time for you to also call us and let us know exactly what is on your mind based on all that has happened in the course of the week. So the numbers are on your screens now, and we can't wait to hear from you and get to know exactly what's on your mind. What do you make of the OSP's allegations that, well, there's been some level of assassination attempt on Kisie Jabeng, among others, and Parliament constructively, I don't know what to say about Parliament and the behavior of the MPs. I mean, I have sat here and I've said that what happened was unfortunate, it was unwarranted, but the minority believe that that is the only way to voice out their frustration and their disagreement with what Parliament has done. That is the letter that was sent by the clerk to Parliament to the Electoral Commission. Let's find out what you also think about these issues. My first caller has joined me. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
My name is Solomon. I'm calling from Upper West Region.
Okay, Solomon, how is the Upper West Region this morning?
We are fine here.
We thank God. Talk to me. What's on your mind, my brother?
I want to talk about the student attacking a teacher today near a school.
Yes.
I'm also a teacher. And that when it comes to student attacking teachers, it looks as if like the media and then government and all concerning Ghanaians are always quiet about that. But once it's on the vice versa, a teacher also attacking a student or a teacher doing something against a student, then you see the media and then government agencies, individuals, CSOs, everybody coming in to condemn it. But this one, NAGRAT has issued a statement, but I don't see any media house or any thing doing anything about it. It seems like they have neglected the issue.
Yeah, Solomon, yesterday, in fact, on Newsroom, it was one of my headline stories as well, that unfortunate incident, and NAGRAT also issuing the threat to even go on a strike.
Yes, but it looks like it is not attracting the attention if it was a student.
Right, right.
So it is a big concern to we as teachers.
Okay.
So we will encourage the media to always take such issues up so that it will help the teachers. Thank you very much.
Very well, Solomon, thank you so much for calling. And yesterday we brought you that story, the students that attacked the teacher at Kede Senior High Technical School, and NAGRAT issued a statement. They had a press conference to express their grievances about that. We have another call on the line. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Peter from Tamale.
Right. What's on your mind, my brother?
Yeah, I want to say good morning to you and then your team. I want to talk about the SHOne matter. I'm happy the president of our great nation came out to say that the office will not be scrapped because the party NDC campaigned on fighting corruption. So if we are in power and we are not calling for the office to be scrapped off, what would the NPP say about our government? So I'm happy that the president, that I trust and believe, said the office will remain as it is. Number two, my brother, if you look at the country Ghana, we have turned the blind eyes on the bad behavior of Ghanaian students. Day in, day out, the students in your country keep on misbehaving. Either destroy the school properties, nothing will happen. I have never heard or heard any policeman arresting a student or student destroying the same properties in their schools. My brother just said it. They attack their teachers. It's a nonsense thing. And then I'm not surprised that when they finish school and they become officers, they behave in their offices, corruption break in their offices. I'm just wondering what's happening in the country about that. The third one, people are calling for the president to go on third term. I'm in this guy or man, but I want to humbly appeal to our people. I had a belief that the president have the good character, the good image, and want to leave a very good legacy. I don't want anything that would taint his image. So he's going for third time, my brother. It can create chaos in the country, which will give him a bad name. And he's a gentleman that we ever have in the country as a president. So I don't want him to leave office with a bad name. So there are people in the NDC, I think he can groom. Even if he leave power, he can still sit behind and encourage them to do what he would have done if he was the president of Ghana. So please, I want to appeal to my party members, allow the president to do his work. He has said he won't go for third term, and I'm supporting that because I want him to leave the office with a good name. The last one, my brother, the last one.
Right.
Minority people, minority, my brother, minority. They have forgotten that they misbehave when the question was being sent to courts. My brother, so they should behave. Okay. Their number is just shrinking day in, day out. Their behavior is making them unpopular day in, day out. I don't know if they have errors in the party. If they don't change the way they are doing things, the number will keep on reducing until they come to the 5 numbers in parliament. God bless, my brother. Have a good day.
Thank you. Do have a blessed day as well, my brother, calling us this morning. Let's pick up another call on the line. Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is called Ken Kaka from Takwa.
Okay, my brother, what's on your mind?
First of all, let me greet His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Supreme Leader and the Vice President of the Republic, first time in history, Atampa Obenfuji and Opoku Ajiman. I love her so much. My issue go with the action the IGP is taking. I know it's not part of the topic, but it's necessary.
Okay.
The IGP is clamping down crimes and illicit drugs in our vicinity. And I urge him to do more. For this IGP, if we didn't allow him for Muhammad to continue his 2 years, Ghana will not. If you look at the Tamil, the northern, I am urging him, his special task force to come to Western region, Takwa, Bogoso, and the mining area. The illicit drug, they are penetrating through by their ways and means. About the Okada too. You know, when the Okada was illegalized, and there was a saying in the community that if a person is riding motor and get hurt, when you went to hospital, they cut off their leg. Right now, it has been legalized. The hospital and doctors in Ghana need to treat them very well anytime they get wound. Lastly, to our parliamentarians, they should know that they are there for we, the communities. So anything they do should be honorable. Our girls, Honorable GHOne Kodjo, MP of Amemfi Central, and Honorable Shekis Asafutela. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling as well. And unfortunately, that's all time would allow us to pick calls this morning. We'll return with the breakfast review segments. Take a stay. In the industry, we get to talk about issues that have been raging since the beginning of the week. And this week we've been joined by Elvis Dark, who is managing editor of News Center. He's been chilling in South Africa, and so he's come back with some South African rants.
Please, the money was not even enough for me to. Mensah, the cost of living in South Africa is not where near Ghana.
Wow.
Cape Town.
Yeah.
Cape Town, the cost of living in Cape Town is expensive.
Oh, wow. Because I saw in the 5-star hotels.
Yeah, it's expensive. Hey, food. Just
food. You really chilled though.
Just food.
Wow. Were you there?
Wow. Let me tell you the cost of food.
I saw it.
Wow. Look, Ghana sometimes, but you say, okay, the economy is also advanced than ours. Yeah. But I say that Ghana's only problem is to make food cheap. Yeah. If we make food cheap, cost of living in Ghana will be far better. I was in Ivory Coast recently. The cost of living in Ivory Coast is way more expensive than Ghana.
Wow.
Ivory Coast. I'm telling you, food.
Then things are changing because we used to go there and import things to come and even make money.
The cost of food. If you buy food in Ivory Coast, you do the price. You convert to Ghana. You realize that you are buying Kempinski standard of food.
Wow.
Wow, I'm telling you.
Maybe the post-war Africa.
I'm telling you.
The post-war
So clearly, it's like our biggest problem is try and reduce the cost of food.
Yeah. Once that is
good to go.
I'll call it a 2-star hotel in Abidjan. We're paying like over $100 a night.
Wow. 2-star.
It's just a 2-star.
Yeah.
Some Nigerians came and said, they slept in a very good guest house. They say around behind Paloma area, and they were paying 400 cedis a night. They came to Ghana, so they were shocked that the price Cote d'Ivoire is about 3 times what they paid when they came to Ghana, and when they slept in Ghana was far better than what they were sleeping.
Elvis didn't listen to the president. The president says when you go, don't do the conversion. When you do the conversion, you get headache. The president said that the security detail, whenever they travel, whenever they go to UK, they want to buy something, they do the conversion. Hey, we are not buying.
No, but that's true. Many people, when they travel and they do the conversion, I remember we went somewhere and people were giving per diem.
Yes.
They look at, they always, anytime we went to market, they converted.
Yes.
They said, no, Charlie,
No, but we want the CD to be strong.
Yeah.
So we have to be converted and see the difference.
But your heart is the problem.
Yeah. Charlie, is this serious?
No, this one, it's a poor man thinking. If you have money, you'll be thinking converting. You'll be thinking of converting.
Converting mentality, you have to calculate everything.
You have to calculate.
The money knows it.
But if you have money, you spend it.
So that's Elvis Dark.
But our hotels,
we also
hotels are expensive.
Muhammad, managing editor of the custodian newspaper, and Ibrahim Al-Hassan, who is head of political affairs here, current affairs here at the EIB network. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't even know I'm breathing after the conversation has started.
Yes.
But it's nice to have you guys here again. Quite a number of issues. Yeah. And Elvis, you've been out, but I'm sure you've been keeping tabs on everything happening here.
Oh, I came back long ago.
Oh, okay.
As well, everything that's happening in Ghana, I'm very much aware. But I'm here I'm here with everything.
Right.
I'm nowhere.
All right. So let's start with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So after the interview that revealed that, well, his life has been threatened, he survived 2 assassination attempts, and Samir Dakon, who is his head of corporate communications, has also been was arrested at a point and molested by 17 police officers. People called for the office to be scrapped. In fact, I would have not come to you.
I'm not even starting.
And then the president says, listen, where we are currently, that is not an option. We are not scrapping the Office of the Special Prosecutor. He's even directed the majority leader in Parliament and his whip to withdraw their private members' motion.
Well, the objective for setting up the OSP, reading the act, fantastic. I support it.
Yeah.
If we are not satisfied with the performance, it is not the act. It is the people who are working there. So if we have issues with the leadership, and we think that the leadership is not delivering to our expectation, which is I'm of that view, that for 7 years, if I look at what they've done, I think that they are below par. If we have issues, let's deal with the leadership and say that we think that your performance is not satisfactory. let's not say because we are dissatisfied with the performance of the people in charge, we should scrap the entire institution.
Okay.
That will be dangerous for all of us. And I've said it, and I'll say it, that the NDC's supermajority, they have to be careful because it seems they have started tricking them too early. They have started tricking them too early. The majority leader is the leader of government business in parliament. So they're hiding behind the claim that because he's an MP, he can do something on his own. I don't agree. Because he's not just an ordinary MP. If any ordinary MP files that and it's an NDC MP, it's a different ballgame. But the majority is the leader of government business. Teams up with my own brother, the chief whip. These are the leaders of the majority. And they are the one leading such a charge. Clearly, it can never be said that the government of the day doesn't know anything about it. It's obviously a government plan. And they want to use private members' bill to do it. And that is where they, that's why I said that power seems to be tricking them too early. See, the OSP, Akufo-Addo just wake up and set up OSP. It was years of advocacy from civil society, especially anti-corruption CSOs, who have actually churned out a lot of information to demonstrate that when it comes to high-profile corruption involving politicians, it's clear that the AG has found it difficult to deal with such issues. It has been clear that the CI, all the institutions that of state that we have found it difficult to deal with it. And they came out with the idea that we need an independent office to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then the OSP came. So people thought that Akufo-Addo just woke up that he wanted to create an OSP. He didn't. It took a lot of advocacy from CSOs and especially the anti-corruption ones. So if you are using your supermajority to try and scrap it, see, what you are going to do is that you're going to be on a coalition course with the anti-corruption CSOs. And I can tell you that if you have a problem with anti-corruption CSOs, you are going to opposition, whether you like it or not. Because the advocacy against your government will send you to opposition. So I think that the NDC has allowed the supermajority to go into their head. And it is trying to trick them too early. Because this is just the first year of their government. And I don't expect that they will embark on such a journey. Because it is dangerous for them. If NDC attempts to scrap the OSP, and then they are also being fooled by some NPP people who are saying, oh, scrap it. It's not so. The same NPP people who use it against you in the campaign and say, oh, Akufo-Addo brought an office to arrest politicians. Because NDC know that they are going to steal money and they are stealing money. They actually scrap the office so that they will not be caught.
Right.
It will be a dangerous precedent for the NDC if they are not careful. The way they are going to observe it, their supermajority may become a mini micro minority. They will not be a micro, it will become a mini micro minority. Because Ghanaians give you the power.
Right.
And they will take it up if they want.
So you agree with the president's move to halt the decision to...
I think the president has helped them. Because if it was on president, he would say, oh, at least I'm 4 years, I'm going. So if people want to do something that to send it to opposition, that would be it. But see, sometimes too, it's just a trick. Sometimes, because I said, I don't see how the president is not aware when majority leader and chief whip are the ones funding this. And it's been a known fact that the NDC has always been against the OSP. Because from the one, they made the argument that the Constitution gives the power for prosecutions to the AG. And therefore, setting up another office without amending the Constitution makes the OSP office illegal. So the NDC already had that position. But I don't think that this time that they have the supermajority is where they want to bulldoze that through.
Right.
Because it could be very dangerous for them.
It could backfire.
No, it's not it could. If they do it, it will hurt them badly. Because, you see, no matter the challenges we have, the OSP, okay, the issues he has with all the people he has been arresting and detaining, the court are yet to decide. If you scrap it with the grounds that they are not performing, the question will be that did you give them the chance for the first time that they are taking on some high-profile public office holder? Did you give them the chance to exhaust the court process and lost the case before you are making that argument? The answer is no. So that the OSP will then rather be exonerated that he was trying to do the work that the act gave him, and then because people were scared, they actually scrapped it. Right. And that would be a very bad message for the NDC. I always, and I will say that the performance of the OSP, I have issues with it. I'm not satisfied with it. But I'm not calling for the repeal of the office. I am calling for efforts to make sure that we strengthen it. The IMF just did an analysis of the OSP, and they came up with things they think that really need to be fixed. And I think that is where attention should go.
Okay.
So the issue that IMF has raised about loopholes in the operation of the OSP, how do we fix it so that then it can work the way we want it? That is what I think that anybody who wants the right thing to be done will want to do. The people holding the office, you may have your issues with the way they are carrying themselves around. Personally, I have issues with them. I've said it. I don't see why an investigative body should be the one running to the media and having a media battle. And I've cited Raymond Archer, who has been an history journalist. And therefore, if somebody should be running to the media it should be Raymond. It shouldn't be OSP. But Raymond is there. He comes under all kinds of attacks for obnoxious bail conditions, and all kinds of accusations are leveled against Iyoko. He keeps quiet and focuses on the job. He doesn't really bother what people are saying because he believes that if he's done a good job, the people will see it. So he's focused on the job. He's not running to the media. But then the OSP, the SP, and let me leave the office, the SP has been so emotional. Even if you mention Kisia Jabin, they will respond to you. Just mention the name Kisia Jabin, there will be a response. I don't think that the office is a personal one to be run in that manner. See, the office is a public office. And you see, it's committed too much blunders left and right that people are using against him. In the Silada Pass case, after all the investigation, you said money laundering is not part of your mandate. Today, you have put Mustafa Hamid before court and say you are charging him with money laundering. So, which one should we believe? You said you don't have the power to do with money laundering, so you should go to Iyoko. Now, you said you are charging Mustafa Hamid for money laundering. So, did you leave Silada Pass because of something? And now you don't see that money laundering is not part of your mandate. So they've done a whole lot of things that have created. Look at Kenuforiata. You told us you are actually extraditing him. You came out to say, oh, you have actually filed the process. When pressure mounted, it turns out that you have not filed any process. So clearly, they are running battle with the media. It's what is making people come after them. And they brought it onto themselves. I believe that if they were quiet, focused, and were doing their work, without all these running media battles, I'm not sure people will be calling for their scrapping. And so whatever is happening now and people are calling for their removal, I think that the leadership, Kisi and his leadership, they brought it upon themselves because they decided that they want to run a media battle. Look, this idea of that he's been attempted assassination, I don't have the fact. Which police station was the case reported?
No record so far.
No record so far. So how will I, Elvis, yesterday believe that there was anything like that? Because we sat in this country and the Minister of State told us that somebody had shot into his car. Police investigation showed that he fired a bullet himself. So if you come to tell me that you are this, and see, this physician to make it look like somebody wants the OSP, that I don't believe it. It's a farce to me. Do you know people's money that have been frozen by FIC? The FIC boss doesn't ride in a bulletproof car. The FIC boy is not surrounded by 5 or 6 security men when he's walking around. But do you know the power of the FIC and how it attacks their finances? Do you know Iyoko, what they've done to people in businesses in terms of people's monies? Who does the head of Iyoko go out with 5, 6 bodyguards with bulletproof car? The answer is no. So are we being told that the CID boss, Iyoko boss, FIC boss, all the NIB boss, nobody wants to kill them? It's only the OSP that somebody wants to kill. And you want me to believe this? I don't believe those things that people are...
the allegations of assassination.
For me, I don't believe it. Because I believe that if there are people to be assassinated, the OSP will be the least.
Okay.
Because FIC can cause you more harm and more damage than OSP.
Right.
Iyoko can cause you more harm and more damage than OSP. Because for them, the way their work is, if FIC issued one letter to all financial institutions this morning and says all your accounts should be frozen, you can't get 1 cedi until after when they decide to defreeze it. So I think that this thing that we are creating to make the OSP, and that's what I'm saying, that they brought it upon themselves.
Yeah.
When Mati Hamidu was OSP, How many security people were around him? I saw a video on social media yesterday. Kisi leaving court. He was surrounded by 5 security guards. 5 security guards were with him, and it's the middle. I didn't see this with Martin Amidu when he was the SP.
Yeah.
I don't see Remonata going out with all 5 or 6 people guarding him when he's walking, then they surround him. I don't see FIC boss walking around with 5 or security. All these people have powerful things they do that affect people. So they themselves are creating the opportunity for people to do that to them because of the way they are handling the office.
Right.
The office has no problem. The leadership, we may have problem with them. If there are processes to deal with the leadership, if you want, let's go to that.
But the office must remain.
But the office must remain.
Okay, I'll do. Let me bring you into the conversation.
Okay. SP, you know my position on SP. As I ever said, look, I am in support of the office staying. I am not in support of office being scrapped.
Right.
There was a reason why that office was established. And I've heard people say that the office, as it stands now, is unconstitutional and all that. But nobody has tested its constitutionality or otherwise. Nobody has tested it. But if you go through that Act 959, if you go through the Act, there's a place that actually says that if OSP wants to prosecute, OSP has to consult any case that he wants to SP or ASP, let me use the office, the Attorney General will have to give the go-ahead. It also simply means that even though it has the powers to prosecute, because the Constitution, Article 88, gives the powers to Attorney General to do prosecution, some of the powers have been given to OSP. So OSP will actually have to work with Attorney General to do it. And now there's no evidence that the OSP has told Attorney General that I want to prosecute this case, and Attorney General says no. There's no such evidence. If OSP wants to prosecute and Attorney General says no, then OSP should be telling Ghanaians that I want to prosecute this high-profile case, and the Attorney General says no. They will know that it is Attorney General who doesn't want the prosecution. But as it stands now, I think Section 4 something of the Act actually specifies that any time the OSP wants to prosecute, then the Attorney General must be made aware. So it should be that collaboration. So there's no violation of the Constitution to my mind.
Right.
Because I don't see any violation. I'm not a lawyer, but looking at common language, English language, I don't see any violation. Now let me come to the substantive matter as to whether the office should be scrapped or not. I think NDC, with their supermajority, I said it here, that if we don't take time, they'll use a supermajority to misbehave. And as it stands now, there are 2 issues that NDC is actually confused about. The OSP, office of the OSP, either to be scrapped or not. And then the so-called 3rd term of President John Dramani Mahama. That one is not under discussion today. So I'll shelve that for another day. But let me come to OSP. You see, the OSP, as Elvis said, NDC from day one, some, including the majority leader now, and the speaker, and some other members were against the act. I don't know why the perception was different, not because it was going to do prosecution. I think the perception of the office was different because then people were thinking, oh, well, look, if you bring this office, it's going to prosecute opposition elements and leave government. Meanwhile, the other side is that Attorney General that we have given powers to, how many political appointees as Attorney General be able to prosecute in this country? They don't prosecute their own. Even when they come to government and their people are being prosecuted by previous administration, they file all manner of nolli prosequi to dismiss the cases. Now, it then comes as to whether we should scrap the office, OSP, or not. This whole thing started with the famous Martin Pebu. OSP, as I sit here, I have said that the man, SP, has been misbehaving all along. Nobody has taken him on. The man picked, how do you call it, our own colleague, Paul Adomotri.
Yes.
And he demanded all manner of landed property in his own name and all that. And incidentally, it is the same Martin Pebu who supported OSP and said that if Paul Adomotri said he didn't have a landed property in his name, he was lying. And that he could vouch that he had landed property all over. And that was it. Until he was a victim.
Why do you use the word
Until he was also arrested. He also spoke.
Yes.
The way probably Paul spoke. And he was also invited. Now he goes to the office, and I don't know what happens. The security there, the military men there says that they had confrontation with him. Then that became a subject of arrest, and he was arrested.
Yeah.
Now he was also given a bail condition that he has to provide landed property, right? Mm-hmm. With surety.
In his name.
His name. So it became a problem. All over the place. All of a sudden, then elements within NDC in Parliament said that, one said that OSP has touched one of their own, which means Martin Pebu he actually worked for NDC, has become an NDC person. So he has touched. When it was Paul Adomotri, it was not their own. Now they kept quiet. Now the man touches Martin Pebu, it becomes a topical issue. And now all of a sudden, they said that the office should be scrapped because of the action. When he was touching other people, what's the name? Cecilia Dapas, the Paul Adomotris, my own, as to surety, Gordon Asaripidiakon.
Oh, okay.
He was also arrested for comments against the OSP. Mm-hmm. He was also arrested. All these people, the NDC elements kept quiet because the man had not touched one of their own. Now he touches people, hell breaks loose.
But is that why you think hell has broken loose? Because the argument from the other side is that they've always held this position, that the creation of that office for them does not...
You are even helping my point. If they have held this position and the man was misbehaving, why didn't they speak up? That this is precisely why this office should not be there. Why didn't they speak up? If they actually genuinely held the position that it should be scrapped. Because they had kept quiet. Even though they, at the establishment of the office, they opposed it. Since 2017, right? Mm-hmm. They have not said anything about scrapping. To my mind, I didn't hear it. They've not said it until recently. So because he touched one of their own, they comes. Yes. Now look at it. So when this issue came and they were commenting, ranking member of Foreign Affairs Committee said that, look, you people, you have supermajority. You are using your supermajority to do all manner of things. Mm-hmm. This is an act. You don't need even this private members bill. I don't see why, if government wants to or the party wants to do it, bring the act and repeal it. Do you need a private members bill to repeal an act that was sponsored by government? If government wants to do it, do you need a private members bill? You have supermajority. Bring the act and repeal it. This whole gimmick that, look, we have all of a sudden, the majority leader says that, look, and then the majority leader, my own very good brother, which I'm so much pleased with, and then his countryman, his hometown boy, his own brother, Nelson Dafiamako. All of a sudden, they come out with, within how many days, we were able to put together private members bill to present to Parliament for it to be repealed.
It wasn't presented to Parliament. It got to public.
It was in the works.
It was in the works, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Correct. Because yesterday there were conflicting issues about withdrawal. Yeah. So I was on a platform. I said, what are they withdrawing? Mm-hmm. Because the thing is not laid before Parliament. So what is the president saying? What withdrawal? Withdraw from where? Is it withdraw from their shelves?
Exactly.
Or withdraw from Parliament?
Not from Parliament.
Not from Parliament.
Because as I know, the thing was not laid before Parliament. So if it is withdraw from their shelves, it's a different matter. But as Elvis said, I do not understand why a major thing like this, that you are going to repeal a law that was sponsored by government, and you want to repeal it. And members of the man in charge of government business, and the man who is the majority MPs to come for any business of the house, two of them will come together and then formulate to say that they have put up a private members bill without government knowing. If anybody tells me that they are independent of government, I'll say that person, I'll tell him who.
Because that's the notion out there.
Which notion?
That it properly shows that the NDC MPs in Parliament are independent of executive control.
But that's not even true. And everybody knows that this is palpable false. It's not true. Look, Parliament, as we have known since 1993, MPs in that house, they are never independent. They are always controlled by the executive. Parliament cannot, majority side cannot do anything if the executive doesn't support. We all know this. This is known. It is a fact. So that even majority leader and his chief whip are doing something, are we saying that the government that they are leading, they are the leaders of government business? Majority leader is the majority leader is also the leader of government business. So if any government business comes to the house, he leads, he has to shepherd it through. Whether it's a bill, whether it's the approval of loans and everything. He is in charge. And therefore, if you are taking such a thing, there will definitely be consultation with the president or the executives. Are they telling that there was no consultation, that they do this, and then the president then comes out to say that, oh, withdraw it? Is it not public relations giving?
That's what you see it to be.
I see it to be perfectly so that probably the president will look like, look, I want the office to stay. But my members want it to go. That's why I say there's some certain level of confusion within the party and government. There's confusion. Look, genuinely there are members of parliament who want this office to be scrapped. I know that for a fact. And I know elements within government also support that. But there's a dilemma. They are in confused state. Because, look, I don't want to move into certain areas. I think this SP has done more favors to this current government and its elements than any other thing.
Right.
Why? You want me to talk?
Yeah.
You remember a few days to elections, this SP traveled to UK and came back with a report to exonerate the president of the Airbus scandal. You don't remember that?
How's that a favor to this administration?
My goodness. You know, this was a topical issue ahead of election.
Yes.
People were using it to campaign. The president was involved in corruption, the Airbus scandal and all that. And the man comes out to the report to exonerate the president. You think that it was not good for president, the candidate Muhammad then?
The timing and everything.
The timing and everything, a few days to elections, and you think it didn't do him a favor? My goodness. And you know, I was just told a few days ago that the first person who actually benefited from this SP was Muhammad Yarga.
Yeah.
When he came, Martin Amidu was prosecuting him in court. The first person who benefited from the magnanimity of Kisia Jabin was Muhammad Yarga when he finally prosecuted to discontinue the case. So you see the confusion. So you don't even understand this whole thing. Is it because he touched one of their own and they are fearing that he may come after them in government, having done others, dealt with others?
Right.
So I am saying that it's a confused state within government and party. The national chairman of NDC, who has so much powers, said that the office should be scrapped. His MPs in parliament, his leaders, say that the office should be scrapped. Now the president comes and says that it's premature. When somebody says that it's premature, so English language, what does it mean? In the meantime, it is not yet time for it to be go. If it is, what is saying that no, we should not scrap it? What is this thing about saying that it's premature? In English language, when you say something is premature, it's not yet ready. Is it not? It's not it.
Which means
it's too early.
Mature.
It's too early. It will mature one day. So let's state clearly that, people are saying that his people want his scrap, and the president says that it's premature. Why doesn't the president say that, no, we will not scrap it?
Right. Well, let me come to you, Brian, because, yesterday we had that conversation here.
Yes.
And you stated categorically that it would be disaster for the president to back calls for the scrapping of the office of the special prosecutor? Not long after that, we saw his letter to Mahama Ayariga and Dafiam Ekpo.
Yeah, my surprise was that he had to even take the letter. Because they say where you tie the animal to the tree, that's where you untie it. Because the president has spoken a day prior and related to what I would have talked about, that the office ought to stay. Yes, he will be happy with expedited
prosecutions,
investigations and prosecution.
We all agree.
Right, and we all agree. We are on all fours with the president on that. Now, after that, Dafiam Ekpo and then Mahama Ayariga publicly, in fact, they publicly stated this. In fact, it started last week when the budget estimates were being considered and the OSP budget was under consideration. There were arguments. In fact, Afaji Bafwewa, he begged Mahama to, the Mensah South MP, he begged Mahama to scrap the office. Right. Mahama Ayariga reiterated his position prior to the creation of the office, that he's always been against the creation. Guess who else was against it? I spoke to the current Attorney General when the bill came to Parliament. Then, as a member of Parliament and as a member of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. And he also registered his disagreement with
the creation of the office.
And many more people. And the argument was a simple one. No, I'm coming. The argument was a simple one. The argument was a simple one. There are many investigative bodies already in existence, right? And what was lacking then was a political will. And guess what? I agreed. And we made that argument. But guess what? There was a manifesto promise that was sold to Ghanaians. The Ghanaians bought that promise and voted Akufo-Addo into power. He said he will create an office called Office of the Special Prosecutor. And so, just as the Okada bill was passed yesterday because it's a manifesto promise, just as COVID levy had been scrapped and the president giving assent to the repeal bill, the president then created this office. Regardless of disagreements that were put forward by the NDC MPs, the office had been created.
Yeah.
So then we had moved past to create or not to create. It had come to stay. Politics and governance is a very complex enterprise. Unfortunately, when it comes to the OSP conversation, there are many politicians who are not reading the room. They are not. Listen to this narrative, and I related it to you yesterday.
Yeah.
That there was once a president who abhorred corruption and anything that has got to do with corruption. And he created an office specifically to fight graft. That president exits. Another one comes. And he is so scared of the fight against corruption that he collapses that office. And that will be the narrative that will exist from now till eternity if Mahama collapses the OSP. And for somebody not to see this is befuddling. You get the point? Like, why do you invite the man to this puzzle concoction? You get the point? And you say that we're like, oh, wow, we are not politicians, right? But we read the room better. And
and you can tell the ramifications of such a decision.
You get the point?
Because you are comfortable, you are not in the hot seat.
And guess what? And that's the thing. See, I've sat here, and viewers will bear me out. That even before the president mentioned that whenever there's cabinet, he tells them that woe betide anybody who brings a fair scandal to my administration.
If the OSP comes for you.
So that has been a very safe thing for the president. Like there's an office that every appointee is scared of. Because you see what's happening to Ken Ofori-Atta. You see what's happening to, or whether you believe they were right or they were wrong. You know what's happening to them. If Ken Ofori-Atta were to be in Ghana, his passport will have been seized. He could not go anywhere. That is a fact. Yes. Mustafa Hamid will have to apply to court for his passport to be released if he wants to travel.
Yeah.
That's not a pleasant experience, right? Yeah. So if there's an office that the president uses to scare his appointees to do the right thing, why touch that office? It's basic. Now, yes, you shelve that one and come to the argument that Kisi was appointed by Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
Like I would relate it to. If there was any measure of how independent Kisi ought to be or is supposed to be, is the Airbus scandal. He inherited that case from Martin Amido, just as he inherited the ambulance and then the second-hand vehicle case against Mahama Ayariga. I sat on the seat and questioned why Martin Amido is wasting our resources, and that the very first case he decided to take to court was somebody who had gone for loan for MPs and is buying second-hand vehicles.
Which is to be used by the constituents, not for his personal gain.
We sat here, we questioned that. And then he comes and says, come on, I agree with you guys on GA today. This is a flimsy case. Let's throw it away. And he throws it away. He throws it away. Now, he looks at the Airbus. Like I would relate it to. Few weeks to election. I was at the presser. In fact, I think Elvis was there.
Is that the day the confusion game?
Yeah. You see? And then he relates to the report and exonerates the opposition leader, Akufo-Addo, in office as a president. If there's any measure of independent thinking, that ought to be the measure, right? The office has its own excesses. I, for instance, got to know about the 2 assassination attempts last year. I would think it ought to have been reported to the police. But guess what I guess the mindset of the special prosecutor, the OSP is? It has the arrest powers, it has the detention powers, it has the investigative powers, it has prosecutorial powers. So you are tempted to equate yourself to another police establishment. So for whatever reason that office felt there was no need for these attempts to be reported to the police, I sit here and I say it's strong. It ought to have been reported. Because me as a journalist, I got to know this. But it's not too late. If shots were fired at the vehicle occupied by the SP, the evidence should be there still. Of course, pictures ought to have been taken. There ought to have been videos, recordings of the incident. So I agree with the Interior Ministry that get into this and investigate. Relative to how many security men somebody carries, you see, it's the same argument with GHOne Mensah, right? When we sat here and we said, why should the military be protecting the EC chairperson? The explanation we were given was that you have no idea the intelligence that might have been picked. And the risk, exactly. So me, I don't have a problem. If Kisi wants to work with 10 security people, especially on the back of what we are told were 2 failed assassination attempts, that's okay. But the point is...
The military has been withdrawn. Is she dead?
Okay, she's also fighting for her life anyway.
Is she
there
dead?
are about 7 petitions for removal.
Is she
Maybe
dead? The military has been withdrawn by this government.
Of course.
Is she not working her life?
The withdrawal was occasioned by a party that felt it was wrong. For more than 10... I'm talking about NDC. NDC in opposition felt it was wrong for GHOne Mensah to be protected by 5-10 military men. And that they were following her to Parliament. I remember there was a time she was coming to Parliament. Oh, me? Okay, so you can bring that up. I'm not privy to that, to be honest with you. I'm not privy to that. You see, the point I'm making is that no amount of security is too much for the salvation of somebody's life, right? If that's what it will take for you to be saved, why not? But yes, the office ought to do better with its public engagement, with many of the things. I, for instance, felt Martin Peebu's case was an overkill, right? And I'm not talking about invitation. You cannot say that an office that is tasked with the responsibility of fighting graft is corrupt and expect no action. So if the invitation is, are you able to tell us what exactly your basis is? It might not be Kisi. It might not be Samidakun. But that office has it has prosecutors and many others. Yeah. So are you able to point to us why you say this office is corrupt? Because doing nothing will mean that whatever has been said against you festers.
Right.
And it chips away the credibility that the office ought to have. So finally on this, come August 5, 2028, Kisi Jabin is leaving.
Yeah.
So President Mahama gets the opportunity to appoint a new special prosecutor. Even though that special prosecutor will work after his exit, just as Kisi Jabin worked after Akufo-Addo's exit. I've always maintained that that's what we need. Joseph Fatal was appointed by Mahama. He has been able to work for 8 years under Akufo-Addo. He's working under another term. Equiamwa, Auditor General. NDC elements in opposition had their own reasons because of how Dumelevo was ousted. Guess what? All Africa Games. He is the one Mahama has tapped to investigate. And he's done many other investigations, including the road contracts that were awarded. Previously, a private firm was tasked to do that work. It is the Auditor General that's doing that work. It tells you the trust that this government or this president has in Equiamwa. Equiamwa was appointed by Akufo-Addo. Moving forward, that is what we should encourage. That's what governance is about. Governance is not just about emotions. Our own has been touched, so everything should be bent down to ground zero. Is that how we govern? So the office must stay.
Right.
If you ask me, Kisi must stay and exit on August 5. So Mahama gets to appoint somebody, whoever is...
Regardless of the petitions that have been brought against him.
See, that's for the Chief Justice to decide. One petition for Martin Amido went. Gertrude Konu sat on that petition. Kisi Jaben responded. It was Jetson. He said, continue with your work. I tell you that at that point in time, it was in the interest of Akufo-Addo for Kisi to be yanked. It was in the interest of MPP for Kisi to be removed. But guess what? They held fidelity to what is right and what is good. And he stayed. So, if indeed there's a smoking gun and the Chief Justice, per the 3 petitions, is able to find those smoking guns, and I'm told that Kisi did A, B, C, D, that's affront to the law and rule of law and whatnot, why not? But I'm saying that it's terrible for the optics. If Mahama replaces Kisi, we'll just have another Mahama appointee at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, just like another Mahama appointee at Iyoko, just as another Mahama appointee at FIC. And that is not good for governance.
Audu, briefly.
You were talking about the relationship between Attorney General, and Attorney General himself is not in support of this office.
No. I mentioned
Previously.
there are many people.
No.
See, in my engagement with the Deputy Attorney General, he talked about collaboration, right, between the AG and then the OSP. When the OSP spoke, and we asked him that direct question about the extradition of Keno Furiata, he said, Dominic Ayine taught him. And at the point, they were even practicing together. So they collaborate. There are many things that they do that we are not even privy to. Yeah. So there's that collaboration. So I agree with you that whatever that anybody is seeking to do, and finally on this briefly, whatever that anybody is seeking to do relative to the private members' bills was going to fail ab initio. There was no way Babwin was even going to admit that bill. You know why? Tomorrow, I will do guest to be MP for Lambusi, which we are working on.
Hey, Charlie, we careful. We are on there.
I would guess to be MP for Lambusi, right?
My MP is watching.
In future.
My MP Prof.
It could be after Prof says.
Oh, so it's premature.
Oh, right. And says, I don't like how Ghana Police Service behaves, right? So even though it is a creation by policy, by government, let me sponsor a private member's bill to scrap the Ghana Police Service. And that can be done if Ayerga has succeeded. Because it emanated as a policy, emanated from the state that we want to create an office. Government. And you say you want to scrap it by a private member's bill. Tomorrow somebody can say, I want to scrap the Ghana Police Service. And it will go.
Not Ghana Police Service.
There's an act.
CSHS.
No, I'm not talking about Ghana Police Service because it's an act. There's a Police Service Act. That's the point. Just as there's an OSB Act.
No, but police service is constitutional. It's constitutional, so it's difficult.
Look, right. That's the point. That's
So this relationship, you see, because I don't have. Will you read this in for me, Michael? These are not my reading glasses.
Okay, so it talks about.
Justice Stram.
Okay. So Srimsai, doctor, relating to the suit. Okay, so he says, I can confirm that a citizen, that's Noah E. Tete, has sued the Attorney General in Supreme Court. Suit number is given.
Yes.
His grounds: Parliament has no power to set up an office of a prosecutor, which is independent and outside the control of the Attorney General. His relief: an order to strike down the provisions of Act 959 that confer autonomous prosecutorial authority on the office of the special prosecutor or insulate it from the Attorney General's constitutional.
But this is not even true. But to say this person that he mentioned that is sued, the person works in his chambers. No problem. You see, we are talking about optics. They have complained about relationship between Attorney General and OSP.
Right.
And OSP for me is bossy because no matter what, OSP is still under the Attorney General. If you look at the act itself. But OSP wants to do the things without collaborating with some of the things he's doing. He's not collaborating with Attorney General. And that's a problem. Even that is against the act that established that office. But if you say, just Attorney General says somebody who works in his chambers, who is of his chamber, now takes OSP, the matter to Supreme Court, challenging the constitutionality of it. I am saying that, so would the president be able to order this individual to also withdraw his case from Supreme Court?
That's a privacy.
Well,
Please. Well, yes, Elvis.
See, the whole thing is an NDC government job. But the public reaction has scared them. And what some of us have told them, the advice we have given them, that it will be dangerous for their 2028 chances. So then I think they didn't think about it. The super majority was confusing them. But when we drew their attention, the fact that
are you sure
you are going to be on a coalition course with anti-corruption organizations who will now make sure that you have become their opponents, and that will not augur well for them in election.
They may not. A lot of them are on WhatsApp group.
Now, NDC want to absorb themselves out of it. So they are going to say, it's the Supreme Court that has scrapped it, not government or not any MP. So now all the hope is on the Supreme Court one. And that is where they are going to scrap the OSP. That is the agenda. That's how I see the entire plan. But the political angle has failed. So now they are pushing it onto the judiciary. You see the point? That is the agenda now. That's what
and that is why people are linking. They are linking the person.
Do you understand? Oh no! Me, I'm saying that all this thing about OSP is an agenda by the government.
Now that we got to know,
we
actually know the political affiliation.
They have seen the political ramifications, so they want to push it onto the court.
No, you know where he works.
I didn't mention on the Malabo case.
You know where he works, but not
on the Malabo case. The Supreme Court have made a pronouncement.
We didn't know until
so
this thing came out.
President
We know that
one
one too.
And touch an auditor general.
Right.
The OSC must stay, but I think the appointment has to change.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be president anymore. As we are doing constitutional review, let's put an independent body or bipartisan committee of parliament.
This is an act, so they can be amended.
Okay.
The act can be amended.
Advertise the position, let people apply, vet, and get the right person to be there. The OSP and the deputy must be vetted and approved. Okay. I am of the view that PC is a very good law lecturer, criminal law lecturer. But I don't think that he has that track record in criminal prosecutions.
Okay.
I believe that is somebody to be heading that office. Minimum of 20 years track record as a criminal prosecutor with 70 to 80% success rate. Should be the one that is an SP. That is my recommendation.
Yes.
And I think that if we are able to do that, and it's not the president who is appointing the person anymore, people will now say that, okay, it's okay. Because right now, people feel that, Mama just want to appoint an SP before he also leaves an office. He also leaves office because Akufo-Addo has appointed SP. We have made this argument. Supreme Court judges, Akufo-Addo has appointed too many. Mama can appoint some. The last answer was, all the chief justices in the Fourth Republic, Mama MDC appointed only one. All the others were appointed. So all these things, always once the president appoints, there is this mentality. So for me, if we want the SP to be more independent, others have recommended that the Office of Director of Public Prosecution should be merged with the SP to make it more effective. All these things, I think that maybe President Mama wants to put up some brains to look at how to make the SP better. And as I said, IMF has also done some work. Their report is there. So President Mama can actually make the SP stronger and better with some of these reforms.
Okay. Well, we'll take a breather on this, and when we do return, we'll be tackling what happened in Parliament, the chaos we saw on Tuesday over the Pandai seat being declared vacant. Minority says we no go allow. Majority says it is done. It is finished. We'll be right back after this. On television, I'm Joshua Kodjo, and I'm here with Elvis Darko, who is managing editor of News Center, Awudu Mahama, who is managing editor of the Custodian newspaper, and Ibrahim Al-Hassan, who is the head of our current affairs desk here at the EIB Network. And we are moving on to the next topic. And I would like to start with Ibrahim on this. But Ibrahim, I know you have a message.
Yes, I have a message from
our fourth host.
Yes, Overforce Asari. Good morning. Who is watching us? He says, then this is busy undoing Akufo-Addo and his NPP administration. The OSP is one of Akufo-Addo's footprints, so the Mahama administration will surely scrap it. That's a promise, or I don't know whether to call it a divine proclamation.
Surely.
Yeah. It says NDC will surely scrap it.
Message in
But I disagree. I think NDC will not scrap the OSP.
Well,
I think that, look, for this one, I wish they did, even though I don't want to scrap. I wish they did, even though I don't want that office scrap.
right.
I don't
But you know the political capital when it's scrapped.
of course.
Yeah.
No, but why do you make that argument? We go to hospitals
Yeah.
and we are dissatisfied with the way nurses and doctors
Yeah.
treat us.
We don't collapse
complain.
hospitals.
We are
Yes.
not getting much result.
Yes.
So we sponsor a bill to scrap Ghana Health Service so the all hospitals are closed down. Is that the mentality? Is that the argument?
Or journalists, we
Is
work,
that the argument?
we work
Now,
sometimes.
Ghana Health Service is a service and an act.
Yeah.
So let's go and repeal the app. All hospitals closed down because we are
not
not
satisfied with your
satisfied
services.
See, so sometimes we want to throw the
Oh,
baby
you are
with
not
the
talking of
bathwater.
GJ, Ghana journalists.
we are not an act of parliament.
No,
we are
but
not by act of parliament.
no. But media is highly recognized.
But we are not by an act
No.
of
But
parliament.
even that,
Do you have an act? Do you have an
we don't have an act.
You don't have an
We don't-
act. So
but we are recognized. 4% of the rent in the constitution.
nobody needs to
So
parliament.
We'll scrap the
Government
forest.
can take on care of us. They can scrap whatever we
Yeah,
are doing.
that's right. So that argument that we make something when they
It's
say
a non-starter.
we have challenge, then the idea is that set up a new organization or scrap. It doesn't work.
Okay.
It's a problem we have.
Right.
Fix the problem and the issue will work. The reason why the thing is clearly in law and it's very good. If the performance is not satisfactory, then why? How do we
fix
make sure that it performs? But just to say scrap it because I'm not happy with the performance, then we are going to scrap. In fact, the whole Ghana will be scrapped because the economic management we have mismanaged the country for 67 years. We are still a third world country.
Right.
No.
Then we sponsor
Masa, we are a developing country.
We develop.
We are not a third world country.
Okay.
What is
All
your
right, gentlemen, let's not get
What is
there.
your per capita income?
All right, Elvis, let's not get there.
We are part of.
Let's go to
We are
Parliament.
part of the global south.
Let's go to Parliament where on Tuesday we saw that chaotic scene. I remember having a conversation with IB and he says, well, for him he was not surprised because we saw the signs. We knew that this Parliament, with the way it started, these things would still come up. But what is quite instructive is that the EC says on December 30, a very interesting date, one day to the end of the year, the Bandai residents would have to go back to the polls.
Yes, see, this whole episode is unfortunate. Martin Yindam is a personal friend, and I won't hide that.
Yeah.
I won't hide that. That Martin Yindam is a personal friend. He's also a friend to this show as well. He was a deputy leader when he was in Parliament. Initially, he was in Parliament for 2 terms before he lost. He had risen to become a leader for the majority front bench. And then in 2020, he lost. Immediately he lost, he went back to the constituency. He stayed there for that 4 years, right? And then won when almost everybody in MPP was shaking. He did the unthinkable and then won. At least per the results from the EC.
Yeah.
So, and when we were looking at seats that were controversial or were won controversially, Bandai was not one of them. In my books, Bandai was not one of them, right? And the point I'm making is that there were no conversations in that regard. Probably we didn't pay attention to Bandai, but until the judgment emanated from the High Court in Tamale, Bandai was not one of the seats on our radar that it could come up for a mention when we are to undertake a rerun. But nonetheless, the judgment came from the High Court in Tamale. Speaker had actually made a pronouncement on this. So the chaos that we witnessed was more political than legal, to be honest with you. I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to be one, but whatever chaos that we witnessed was a side seeking to show solidarity and send a message that, hey, you cannot just do what you are doing. Because per what I gather, there was some agreement that, yes, Speaker said after December 1, Martin Union will cease to be a member of Parliament, right? Because the processes had been served on Parliament. But there were going to be some delay in communicating to the EC that there was such an agreement. Okay, that would have been a gentleman's agreement, right? But would that agreement have been legal? Because if indeed Speaker had mentioned that after December 1, the seat will automatically become vacant as a result of the judgment, and you say that let's delay the correspondence to the EC. Meanwhile, the judge was emphatic. He said within 30 days. What would that mean for the work of the EC? The EC has got its own problems that it's dealing with. There are 7 petitions demanding the heads of 3 of them. So it didn't come to me as a surprise that it was Samuel Tete, who immediately after the elections, all the correspondence that were coming were routed through Samuel Tete. He was there before the Fantastic 3. And when I say the Fantastic 3, I mean the petitions that have been sent for their removal, Mensah, Bosman Asare, and then also one other. Now, on the day, the minority registered its displeasure through Frank Anodompre that what the clerk did on December 4 was illegal because they are active legal processes. The notification of appeal, and then application for stay,
right.
And then the Supreme Court petition as well, relative to the window through which the petition was sent, the parliamentary election petition was sent to the High Court in Tamale. The noise was parliamentary. The initial banging and chanting, that's parliamentary. Even though you argue that that will amount to disrespect of the Speaker. We've witnessed that. What, however, was unparliamentary was the attempt to physically disrupt proceedings. And I mean, had it not been the intervention of the shield, the human shield from the Marshal's office, which was backed by the shield from the majority side, whatever proceedings were ongoing, the mission was to scatter it. And to me, that's most unfortunate. But those of us who are in Parliament and those of us who have followed politics, let me let you know that this moving forward is what you expect from our Parliament. See, there's no turning back. The public address system in Parliament is in a way that until now, there's a master mic and there's one other mic. When the 2 microphones are on, that is it. The public address system is disabled. Nobody else could be given the opportunity to speak. And so the Speaker's mic is a master mic, it will be on. The Speaker will have to determine whether the minority mic should be on or the majority mic should be on. What they do before the refitting of Parliament is that if the minority wants to be disruptive, it will just put on one mic and that's it. The majority will never have opportunity to speak into the public address system. Well, Parliament now has a solution or some semblance of it. Now, the mic is supposed to be controlled remotely. So, yes, on the D-Day, the minority will seek to hijack the microphone, but there's somebody seated somewhere monitoring who remotely retrieves the microphone. So then that was not an arsenal that could be deployed. But there was noise and there was chaos, which could drown whatever that's happening. For the second time, the Speaker also overlooked that and then allowed business to proceed. It is a bad advertisement for Parliament, yes. And I'm talking about what happened in the eyes of the public. Yes, it is. It's a bad advertisement for Parliament. But I think Ghanaians should also accept the fact that this is the Parliament that has come to stay. You know the solution the Speaker could have deployed? To order all the minority members of Parliament to leave the chamber. Obviously, there will be resistance. He would then order the Marshal's office to physically remove all of them. that would have been another recipe for chaos, right? So the chaos that eventually we'll witness will have been the same chaos that will have witnessed. That's what the standing orders will have allowed the speaker to do. Okay. After the fact, the speaker could also trigger privileges. Okay, so imagine privileges committee saying that all the minority members of parliament involved should be kicked out of parliament. Where are we headed?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you what could be done, but practically those things are impossible.
Yeah.
They won't be done, right? Well, the majority in the end came out flying, excited, because I've never, for my life in parliament, seen a number of budget estimates approved with the alacrity and the speed of light.
Like we saw on Tuesday.
So what the minority lost from that is also that an opportunity to speak to the estimate and raise issues. That's how you make your name as a minority member of parliament. You make... that's how you make your name. See, let me tell you how the bus branding issue became a bigger thing. A certain Oseche Mensah at the budget estimate consideration, spotted this, raised it, and it became a national scandal, didn't it? That's the point I'm making. In fact, they had been trumpeting concerns about the Office of the Government Machinery Allocation. It was passed with the speed of light, with alacrity. Nobody said PIM because the minority decided to protest the way and manner it deemed fit, right? So, after the happenings in Parliament, sorry to burst the bubble, it will not stop. Nothing will happen to them. I'm sure maybe issues of image and credibility and what have you in the eyes of right-thinking Ghanaians. Yes, that's all. Maybe the electorate will decide what to do come December 7, 2028. Right? That's all. Nothing will happen. But we'll keep admonishing our members of parliament that it is the least respected arm of government. I say this without any equivocation. Parliament is the least respected. And the speaker countlessly mentions this. And some of these happenings that will further erode the high esteem that ought to be accorded Parliament. So, as much as possible, if the House can cut down on these excesses, why not? But I don't see it happening.
Well, let me come to you, Audu. Do you see that narrative changing?
Which narrative?
Oh, the disruption, the chaos we see in Parliament?
No. It will be escalated, probably even next Parliament.
Wow.
Judge Kwesing, I said no. What was the ruling on him? A seat. High Court declared the seat vacant. Was the seat declared?
No, originally he was not to be sworn in. That's the one. No, the original.
From day one.
Yeah.
Let's see this. No, that one crowd was because we have a similar one. Like, what's the name? The man who died.
The late
Nesi Akumi. He was sworn in. He was not supposed to be sworn in. But NDC minority then insisted that he should be sworn in. And he was sworn in. Right? When he came and they were saying that the man was not supposed to be a member of parliament, his seat should be declared vacant in parliament. Was it declared vacant? You go to parliament these days more than me. Was it declared vacant?
No. I think the eventual one was the Supreme Court one that demanded that he be removed.
The reason, and who sat on it? Who was the speaker? Is it not the same? Babin. Why did he declare that one vacant then? When the High Court had said that the seat should be declared vacant, why didn't he on the floor of Parliament? Because the argument was that the man had started processes. He was the High Court, he was at the Court of Appeal, he was at the Supreme Court. They let the processes end. So he never declared the seat vacant on the floor of Parliament. That is why the clerk then never sent any letter to the Electoral Commission declaring the seat vacant. Why this one? When it is the same speaker who, similar instance, decides that this seat, particular one, should be declared vacant. Why? If, you see, I have said this in this country that it appears to me that the majority that the NDC has, a lot of people who are supposed to be voices of conscience are not talking because it is a different person altogether. But if you act in a particular way and tomorrow you act in another way, that is different. Similar, they say similar things, you act differently, there will be repercussions. Look at these two scenarios. One was not declared vacant, another one comes, and that one there with speed of light, vacant. And nobody is talking. Nobody is talking because it is somebody else. We are all quiet, see that everything is okay. This country, everybody is talking. And all these processes, also ask yourself, why is it that nothing, the processes that have been filed in court, the Supreme Court, certiorari, why is it not happening? Nothing has happened, and speed of light, a letter is written from the clerk to Parliament to EC, and within 24 hours, EC sets up a date for by-election. When these legal processes are
Have been exhausted.
Are we fair? Is it the animal farm system that we are running? Now the animal system, farm system has moved from court to even our legislature. What is happening in this country? I am saying that I always tell you on this program, I am scared. I am genuinely scared. I'm not scared because I have any, look, I have never worked in government sector in my life, in public, in my life. But I am scared because we see these little building up. People are not talking. Those who are supposed to talk, who are not talking today, may be the biggest victims tomorrow. Why is it that this thing is happening? And everybody, the people who are supposed, as I said, to be the voices of conscience are all mute. Why must Kwesi has his way up to the Supreme Court after declaration at the Supreme Court before he left office? And Nyendam, Honorable Nyendam will not have the same favor. Why? Look at the High Court issue. We are told that the petitioner went with 41 police stations. He had issues with 41. Is that not right? The 41 police stations are apparently, the calculation shows that the man, only 500 votes are involved, right? That's what we are hearing.
Yes, but then his lawyers also argue that in the reliefs they sought, they also sought a relief that asked for a rerun.
Based on which evidence?
Rerun, look. Rerun of which police is it? When you ask for rerun, I always set the 2012-2013 election petition as example. When people went to court, they didn't ask for rerun of the whole election. Where there were violations, constitutional violations, they sought rerun of those areas. They didn't say that it should be rerun of the total presidential election. Never did that. So if this is a petitioner who went to court with 41 police stations and asking for a rerun, to my mind, he was actually asking for the rerun of the 41. Because that was a matter before court. The man didn't go to court that I want election to be done in the whole constituency. Because that was not before court. If it is just 41 polling stations and you go there, the judge then decides that, look, even though the petitioner has brought 41, I would decide that it should be the total or the whole constituency. What kind of law is this? I'm not a lawyer. I've not even gone to a law, been in law class. But common sense. These days they talk of purposive interpretation and all that. So is that part of the purposive interpretation that somebody comes with 41 problems with 41 police stations? And now you decide that the whole constituency, knowing that if the 41 were held, the difference will not matter because Nyendam won with over 3,700 votes difference. Yeah. Honorable Nyendam. You go to know that, knowing that if you go for a by-election, he's likely going to do the election. Why? Because the whole government machinery will be there. What happened in Equatia? The money will be sent, all the Jubilee, half of Jubilee House money will probably go to Pandai. This is a fact. If you look at what people do, governments do in by-elections. And they virtually buy the election with cash and projects. Because they tell you, we saw it what happened in Equatia. We are in government. If you want development, vote for our candidate for us to give development. If the place doesn't have development, what do you think? The people are rational human beings. But we don't do that too. We don't do that. We don't do that. This kind of tactic. You don't pursue this kind of rough tactics to get a seat that may not even matter to you.
Right.
Look, NDC, how many seats do they have currently? He has been there until this thing happened. All the budgets, the estimates that were approved before this confusion happened, the people who approved the budget, those other estimates, were not up to 100, even 80 in the chamber because of cooperation between minority and majority. Because normally they will raise issues of quorum. With all the over 180 NDC members, they didn't even have 80 people on the floor until this. All the other estimates. If anybody challenges me, you will see the numbers. We all saw them. There was even one time that somebody was saying, and Honorable you said, you are there shouting, you don't even have the numbers here. If you Joe will raise quorum. And they all laughed over it, and they went on to approve. It is like that. It's been working like that. When there's collaboration between both sides, they relax the rules. But what you have done, you have over 180. You have absolute majority. Somebody has won. As you said, Pandai was not an issue at all.
Yeah.
You want to take Pandai at all costs. And I like the way Honorable Nyandam has behaved so far. He said, if it is the will of God, he has told his people not to die because of him. Whatever they want to do, let them do it. If the people say that, look, even though I won, now I will not win the seat, let them take it. If we were to allow the processes to go through, and even if Madam lost the processes in court, that would have been an elegant way of pursuing this matter. But you say no, animal farm. One person deserves good, the other one deserves bad. That is not good for democracy.
Right.
Look, I give this example. In 1992, you know MPP didn't contest parliamentary rights.
Yes.
NDC went to parliament with its other political allies. NDC alone had 189 seats, right? NCP, which was led by Vice President Akka, had 8 seats. They were Egle party. Egle, every Ghanaian living everywhere, had one. That was a real Kamofa. You all remember him. Abu Akwa Saf. And then 2 independent candidates. The late Hawa Yakubu Boku, and then one Gladys Abela Nsowa. They were the 2 ladies who were independent. I don't know I don't know where she is now, whether she is late. NDC was in power with these numbers. They ruled this country.
Right.
Nothing happened because MPP decided that they were not going to. So if 2028, 2004, move away from all that, Parliament change numbers and moved, and you got this massive number, overwhelming majority in 2024. Why would you want to do things to throw this country into some chaos?
Right.
Why? And even knowing that what you are getting will not change anything because you already have the absolute majority.
They are righting wrongs. Let me come
wrongs
to
of what? No, when people go to cite Iowa's West Wogon, right?
Yeah.
They cite which one? Tachima.
Yeah, Tachima South.
You see, Tachima South was not a by-election, right? Yeah. Iowa's West Wogon was a by-election. Yeah. They failed to cite Chirponing. They failed to cite Talensi. They failed to cite a lot of coincidences that by-elections were chaotic. They failed. Yeah. At this country, what I'm saying, I'll end by saying that we should be careful with the actions that we take today. I have not come to what happened on the floor of Parliament because deliberately I will not go there. Before, if I were to go there, I've had issues with people I respect so much.
Okay.
I will not go there because, look, what happened on the floor of Parliament, if you were talking about procedure, Speaker could have done that, Speaker could have done that. What happened there? with the approvals and all that, you know it. When Parliament is sitting and the maize is taken away, there cannot be any legitimate business without the maize.
Yeah, but the maize was not taken away. The maize was
protected,
removed, and kept standing for safekeeping because
where?
You and I knew.
Where was it kept?
I'm coming.
No.
I have a video. In fact, we have a video.
Right.
Where was it kept?
Right.
It was kept a few meters away from where it's supposed to be, right? With the marshal guy holding
you know
it.
that,
because
you know
people
that.
who wanted to whisk the maize away.
You know what?
I don't want to go there.
Let me bring Elvis into the
But
conversation.
Joshua, 1 second before Joshua comes, what's the name? Elvis comes in. You related to Quayson. The point must be made that Quayson was not an election petition. It was not dispute emanating from the parliamentary election. That point must be made.
Okay.
So the two cannot be the same.
No.
I'm coming. The point
I am not saying they are the same. I am talking of
the judge gives a consequential directive that there must be rerun within 30 days. So timelines are of importance.
Why?
Here.
Okay.
When there has been appeal. And
Right.
Gentlemen,
Let me give time to Elvis because we've run out of time.
You think that
How
the
do we
man...
run out of time?
No. Let me clear this. Look, the Jersey question say, I'm not saying it was a by-election.
Right.
I didn't say that. But that one, there was a declaration that the seat should be vacant. Wasn't it?
And what was the consequential order given? So, for instance, the appeal and the stay. The point I'm making
because
is
I'm not a lawyer, you want to bully with this question.
You're not a lawyer either.
Even the judge will
Right.
cry head.
Okay.
Even
Well,
the judge head.
Elvis,
Yes,
Elvis, you have the
it's
floor
all part
now.
of the plan.
Right.
Okay.
Elvis, you
That's
have
why
the
he
floor.
gave the orders.
Right. Elvis has the floor now.
Everything about Sandai is politics. There's nothing law in that. Everything about the whole thing is politics.
I like that.
From the courts to whatever is politics.
That's not, even though the decision emanated from the law courts.
There's nothing law about it. That is my opinion.
Okay.
We're in this country. Adamu Sakande was convicted for holding dual citizenship. He went to jail. Jeji Kwesi was convicted for having dual citizenship. Did he go to jail? See, we sit in this kind of do things. One day something will happen before we will not want to go back and say, hey, then the system was unfair. This Mandai case, what did he say? The person said 41 police stations. He didn't say the 111 police has any problem.
51.
He didn't say the rest
The
has any
remaining
problem.
111, yes.
He said 41. On what basis the judge declared that the whole constitution should be rerun? In the 2030 election, the Supreme Court said people cannot go and queue and vote. And the failure of somebody to do his work, and this officer to do his work, will annul their votes.
The vote.
That is why may shall became may in the Supreme Court. That the EC officer shall sign. But the Supreme Court said no, the people who went and queued and voted did not commit any offense. So if the remaining polling station, the people voted, the candidate who went to court didn't have any issues with them. He said I have issues with 41. What's the basis for annulling the entire election and say an entire rerun should be held in the constituency? That's why I'm telling you that I am convinced that everything is politics.
Right.
In which era did the judge now order that by-election should be held in 30 days? The constitution is clear as to when, if a seat is declared. It is the Electoral Commission. The constitution has already mandated that when a seat is vacant, this is the number of days.
The days within the constitution, they
so
say
how is the judge now? Is the judge now determining otherwise as stated in the constitution? Is the judge now determining otherwise? But the constitution has made that clear. It's not. There's no ambiguity about when a seat is vacant, when the number of days EC has to organize a by-election. So on what basis the judge now determining and giving orders as to the number when it should be
Right.
a by-election should be held?
Right.
These are the things to tell you that the whole issue that we are talking about has nothing to do with law. It's a political process by a government who thinks that they have a super majority which is eating to their head, so they have to add more to it. They have the power, they can do whatever they like. And that is what they are doing. Whatever is happening in Parliament, you say Jechi Kwesi. That's how the Cape Coast High Court said the case if the seat is vacant, Jechi Kwesi cannot hold himself as a member of Parliament. That's what the Cape Coast High Court says. But what did Bagwin say? Bagwin says because the case is on appeal, they should allow it. Travel 9 months until the Supreme Court decided before there was a by-election. Now Bagwin says no, that the situation is special. Now his government is in power, so he can't be treated like Martin Nyindam, who is in opposition. So Martin Nyindam's case is different because it's opposition. As for the chief question, his party is in government. See, let's be clear in this country.
Okay.
If things are going bad, we can't openly say it. One day when there's chaos in this country and people are chasing people with things, we will all, nobody is safe. Oh. Even if you are rich, you are not safe. If you are MP, you are not safe. You are president, you are not
poor
safe.
like me,
if
you are
there
not
is no peace in this country, nobody is safe. Nobody can be safe in this country if there's chaos. So when people are doing things that will land all of us into chaos, we must boldly tell them whatever happened in Parliament was caused by Gbagin. Because yes, he caused it.
Okay.
Because if it's been served by, if the appeal has been served on Parliament, and when it was served on you in the chief cases, they say, oh, because there's an appeal, let's wait. And the 9 months that the chief question, and I agree with that ruling, because if the chief question was barred from coming to Parliament and the case traveled for 9 months in court, are we saying that within the 9 months the case is traveling in court, there shouldn't be a representative for the people in that area? So for me, I agree that let's say that case should travel to a point where there's a finality. Right. The person cannot have any legal option again.
Okay.
Then we go for a by-election. But when there are options for the person to exploit, and then you decide that no, you are doing something else, as I've said, they should keep enjoying the supermajority.
Okay.
For it is their turn. The Ghanaians have given it to them. Let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy it well. But the people who gave it to them, they are sitting quietly and watching. And in 2028, the same people will go and decide whether they still want to give them a supermajority or not.
Right.
Because in 2016, when NPP had 169 seats and NDC was NPP thought that, it's going to be, business as usual. Before they realized, they were in opposition. So whatever they came to
137, 137.
Whatever they are doing today, they should know that the people who voted for them are smart. They are watching whatever is happening. And for Parliament, they should know that they will remain the arm of government that will never be respected because of the way they misbehave themselves.
Very well.
It is their action that is making people to disrespect them. Because you can't do this in Parliament. Look at from e-levy, this, that. Our Parliament is focused on, I think they've been watching TV of other countries where parliaments fight. They don't watch the American Parliament, they don't watch the UK one, where people can be very furious, speak their mind and go and say that. They don't watch that one. I think they have been watching the parliaments from those East countries where people can fight and roll over. And I think they like what they like that one. So they also want to be in the record, so they're part of it. I need to do this. Young people, youth, even kids are watching. And
there was a time they were marching. They were marching.
But doing all this, then you say that they should respect you. They will never respect them.
Okay, Elvis.
The point is that
we need to go.
The court processes that are active. If today or tomorrow or Monday there is a contrary decision varying the order from the High Court in Tamale, the EC will not go ahead.
This scripted.
Ibrahim Al-Hassan is there. Elvis Bako, who is managing editor of the News Center. And Awudu Mahama, who is managing editor of the Custodian newspaper. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. And hopefully next week we'll be sitting here having that conversation, know whether or not there will still be by-election in Pandai. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. So much for staying with us here on GHOne Television. And this morning, it's a Friday. We'll be getting into the weekend vibe, but let's talk some critical matters as well. And this morning, my guest is no stranger to the studio. He is the Kruntihini of Achimisium, Nana Bwedi Amponim Obodade the Third. Nana, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice to have you in the studios.
Same here.
How has it been for you quite recently?
We are doing our best, and we thank the good Lord. Before I start, let me also acknowledge your viewers and send my greetings to the people of Assume, and then, of course, any other person watching us.
Right. And how are the people of Assume doing?
Very well, sir. Nice. Very well.
Yes. Well, so recently, I mean, you have basically been popular. In fact, more popular than has been the case because you engaged the media on an assessment of the administration. Really, what is your assessment of John Mahama's administration since the beginning of the year?
So far, so good. It's done more than we could have wished for. Of course, we had very great expectations, but he succeeded that. I can mention a few. I can mention the number of ministers he promised to use.
Yeah.
And he said he could use 60. And people thought, no, it's not possible because President Akufo-Addo then was using 125. And he came and still, even with 58, managed to deliver at a level that is unprecedented in the first year as president in this country. So he's doing very well. Inflation, of course, is down. We are all enjoying. It's almost Christmas, but the prices are stable and even going down. He's done the tertiary-free,
stress-free policy,
stress-free, yes,
for level 100s.
Yes, and the students are okay with it, happy with it. It didn't end there. He also included the disabled to go through tertiary education free of fees and all that. All this time, I think infrastructure is also speedily going on. We have the big push, which I'm very excited about, because our roads and, of course, infrastructure will be tackled. We have electrification of some villages and towns in the Savannah region, about 13 of them. We've had La General Hospital receiving $130 million to finish that. You remember the story behind La. I mean, it was a fully operational hospital. Yanum decided to just demolish it and abandon it.
Because they said structural integrity was deficient with the building, and that's why they had to pull it down.
Well, so why didn't you, after pulling it down, raise it back up? The president is doing so very well.
Right.
We could mention so many things that he's doing.
But some say the reset agenda was anchored primarily on the 24-hour economy. And till date, we've not necessarily seen that visionalized.
The 24-hour economy is in operation. I can tell you for a fact that most districts and municipalities are working hard towards it. I know structures are being put in place. You know, it just doesn't take a few months to get some of these things right. Let's be patient. I know he's doing well. We expect some more. But let's be a bit patient. It will all fall into their right places.
Right. So for those who say they do not feel the impact of John Mahama's administration, 11 months or so after he took office, you think they are not being candid?
I think that for some of us, if President John Mahama for all 11 years had not done anything at all but prepare for the takeoff, it will still be good for us. If he had not done anything at all, but even taking us from the grips of the old administration, which was just a kleptocratic one, we are grateful for that. Because the losses from that time, the losses that we've revealed now, makes one think of what would have happened if there had not been a change, if he had not come back to save the day. I always say he's like Moses. You know, he had to come back to Egypt to save the people. Now, President Mahama has come back and he's saving us. Look at all the roads, all the looting. It would have been just a looting continua if he had not been the savior. You can mention the National Security, National Service, National Service stealing. About what? $750 million? We wouldn't have known that. We even thought it was 53 million. You can mention Kwabena Dubuahin. A young man also got into the act. 49.1 billion.
All allegations being currently on trial.
Well, they must be on trial. How else do we put them? They have to be on trial. The National Cathedral. Look at the recent thing about 31 billion United States dollars being laundered abroad in overseas accounts in the guise of imports.
Right.
Those things, if even he doesn't do anything but to prepare for actual takeoff, we'll be thankful that he got that done out of the way.
Well, just hold on your horses for me there. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll be getting into the conversations proper. And my guest this morning is the Krontihi of Achimesium, Nana Bwedi Amponim Obodade III. We'll be right back. Sits with the Kruntihini of Achimuseum, Nana Bwedi Amponim Obodade III. And we're talking about national issues, getting to understand his perspectives as well on these region issues. And he's touched on the fact that he believes strongly that John Mahama is laying the foundation for a reset economy, as was promised by the NDC administration. But Nana, you seem to believe that John Dramani Mahama's second coming is to rescue Ghanaians. Was the situation that bad?
Oh, it was very bad. It was very bad. I don't need to tell you. Recently, I mean, of late, that you hear of a scandal has become a commonplace thing. I mean, because every day, every few days or week, you hear of another one. Their administration wasn't just to help Ghanaians. I think they mobilized themselves, sold themselves well, and then when they got that power, they decided to take whatever they came across. So it was like, I came, I saw, instead of conquer, they looted. It was too bad, too bad.
But they brought free SHS, which allowed access to senior or secondary school, I should say. Free.
Yes. You see, you cannot say completely that everything about anybody at all is bad. There will be some little good things. They also brought 1D, 1F. And I've mentioned that was as well a good idea. I actually want, just as the president and NDC are going on and still making free HS better, I also want them to concentrate a little bit on 1D, 1F.
Okay.
I actually want them to do it 1D, 3Fs. Because we need jobs in this country badly, very badly. 1 in 3 of the youth in Ghana is able to boast of some job of a sort, some employment of a sort. The other 2 do not have employment.
Right.
A lot of people are just hustling by. I keep saying that we have Galamsey as bad as it is today because the alternatives are not there. I remember Graphic Online, and they said they had done a survey and about 5 million people were involved in the illegal mining sector. This was in October, 7th October 2019. And so you can realize that, yes, if we are not able to bring jobs, it will be a problem.
Yes.
I want this government to try their possible best in bringing about an aggressive job creation program. That is why I said 1D, 1F. Maybe something that is more than the big push.
Right. But do you see that? Do you see the plans clearly spelled out for job creation? Because people are still crying that they are still not employed or they do not have jobs after almost a year of the administration of John Mahama.
Well, a year is too soon to make any judgment on anybody. You know, I mean, I remember 2016 when President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia took over. By the time the year ended, we had only received the boosting of the dollar being locked up, the CD being arrested and locked up, then the key given to the IGP only for it to start flying again. It broke jail. So yes, a year is too soon to make judgments on any administration.
Do you see
but
plans
yes.
That point to job creation for the young people?
Look at the budget. It tells you how serious they take the issue of employment. They do know that we need to do more. And that is why some of us are also making these suggestions. I'm sure from 2026, we'll start seeing massive employment opportunities in this country.
Now, some people have tagged you a member of the NDC. Are you a member of the NDC?
I'm a Ghanaian first and foremost. And I'll tell you this. Everybody will belong to one party or the other. Everybody. In as much as you have the civil responsibility, the civic responsibility to vote as a Ghanaian, yes, you will belong to one party or the other.
But do you belong to the NDC? Are you a member? Are you a card-bearer member of the National Democratic Congress?
I have been given an opportunity under President Mahama to serve as a board chair. So, if that makes me an NDC member, yes. And
but do you have a card? Do you have a card?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And people say that is the reason why you seem to be very critical of the former administration and you heap praises on the current administration simply because of your affiliation.
I've rather been very brutal, honestly. Honestly brutal. To every situation. For instance, I also spoke about the little things we need to do. Yeah. I spoke about how I would have wanted the plea that I gave to, for instance, our chairman, the revered chairman, Asiedu Nketia. Anybody looking at me with that monocular kind of lens would be disappointed, because I am not your typical type of politician. I am one that is liberal, one that will give praise where praise is due and criticize where criticism will work, because that is all it is. You see, we are all political consumers. People do not understand this. A few times they hit you with the, oh, a chief must not be in active politics thing. But I tell you what, they don't go far back to research into how that came to be. Now, let me use this opportunity to educate them, to go deeper a little bit. Right. You see, a chief, in the days before the Europeans came, served his people, both politically and judicially. And so the chief would, together with his elders or sub-chiefs, gather and deal with cases as and when they come, rape, stealing, whatever. And most chiefs had cells in their palaces. The chief will also protect his people from wars and external aggression, from famine and drought, from diseases and all the rest. That is how a chief served his people. The people also served the chief with respect, with honor. That is how it was. Now the white man came, still saw fit to continue that same process. So even though under colonialism we had indirect rule, it was basically the chiefs still performing their duties, but this time round for the colonial masters. Then came independence. They gave us a role to play in politics. We were at the regional level mostly representing the local governance. So we were in politics. I tell you what, Kwame Nkrumah, God bless his soul, the best president Ghana has ever had, and Africa as a whole. I love that man. Right. He actually is a mentor of mine. I remember back in, during our time we had sixth form, and back in St. Augustine's, I had a haircut, and my friend said I looked like Kwame Nkrumah. And I just bent down my head and said a silent prayer that the good Lord should make me like Kwame Nkrumah. That is how I adore him. But Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was not a saint. He was not an angel. He had some little imperfections. And one of them was that he got to a time when, power can corrupt a person. And he saw that the only way he could run the country was to take all that powers from the chiefs and then centralize it. And that is why it became necessary for him to make certain amendments to legislations and suggested that a chief cannot be actively involved in politics.
But from time immemorial, that's how it's been.
From that time. Right. And this is when they came up with the 1961 Chieftaincy Act. And the act was what made it even worse, because at that time, the central government could destool a chief who wasn't loyal. And they made sure that all powers were taken from the chiefs. Now, when it comes to current times, a chief just like any other Ghanaian, should enjoy all the, what is it called? The freedoms and rights.
Right.
You cannot tell me that I'm a chief. There is a freedom of association. But when you are associating yourself with a party, you have to hide and do it. Where's that freedom?
So that
and
needs
you
to
cannot
be
also,
relooked at.
yes,
Okay.
you can also not also tell me that like any other citizen of this land who has the freedom to vote and be voted for, I can also vote, but I can't say anything. You cannot tell me that, you don't have to be actively involved in politics, but then when they come for their active campaigns, they will dress you up, or you have to dress up and go and sit at the front row and then be accorded the nananom, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, but then they put a padlock on your lips so you can't say a thing. I think that is discriminatory. Anyway, it's gone to court. It's gone to the Supreme Court. I don't know if you are aware of the case that alum GHOne initiated against the Attorney General and the National House of Chiefs. And it was made clear that, yes, a chief also has those rights and it must be protected.
Right.
It is only when the chief wants to become a member of parliament that he has to put down the stool or the skin. Other than that, arguments that, he is the head of a community, it doesn't wash.
Okay.
Because there are pastors and reverends who even have a congregation of more than the population of a country.
Right.
They still do politics.
Right. Okay.
So we must be given the time, the chance to also criticize where need be,
Right.
and commend where need be.
Right.
And even in the current constitutional review that is ongoing, we hope that chiefs will be accorded that role to play in government.
Okay. Now, some members of the NPP say you owe them an apology for how you described their flag bearer hopeful, the 5 of them. Are you willing to do that?
I owe them an apology for saying Sankwas.
Yes, for saying they are Sankwas. you don't see the need to apologize for that?
Or is a storm in a teacup? They should take a chill pill.
Okay.
Look, what does Sankwas mean? It's not English.
Yes.
It's not tree. I don't think it's Ewe or Wala language. It's just a colloquial expression.
Which usually refers to non-entities or something not having value?
No.
Okay, so what's the definition?
There will be different meanings for a word.
Okay.
My meaning was made clear. If you listen carefully, I mean, it could be derived from the context.
Okay.
And I said that people like Professor Dubois, people like Ochame Akuto, who formed NLM and stood toe-to-toe with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, people like J.W. de Graaf Johnson. These people had nothing that you can call, today's, like the worth, is in monetary terms or what. But they were bold. They were with integrity. They were patriotic. Their selflessness cannot be compared to the 5 people who want to stand.
Right.
So in that regards, these people, the competence is not up to that level.
That level. So they are
so
not
the
as competent
standard,
as the founders.
of course.
Okay.
The standard of competence is not up to the level.
Okay.
So one will also say that, well, if you're talking about competence, then there's one of them who brazenly called the former president incompetent. How about that? And nobody said anything about it. It's the same meaning, one way or the other, looking at it one way or the other.
Let's talk about illegal mining, because it's one of the trump cards of the NDC to get the people of Ghana to give them that overwhelming endorsement in the 2024 elections. How do you think the government has fared with regards to the fight against illegal mining?
I think for the first time, the government is really serious about fighting illegal mining. Previous attempts were quite lackadaisical, if you ask me. And I have been involved in this anti-mining thing for some time. I started it in 2024.
Okay.
I think I even had discussions with GHOne, and we spoke at length about it. We fought it any way we could. Wrote petitions to Ghana Police, the regional command, followed up at the headquarters, director of operations, wrote to Minerals Commission, wrote to immigration, but none of them was forthcoming with anything to help us. Even when I thought that it was getting so bad that I actually went to the Southern Command of the Ghana Armed Forces and asked for assistance from them. I was told that the president and the minister had forbidden them from actually going ahead to do anti-galamsey operations. So you could see a president who would pledge his presidency on the line and behind the scenes instruct the military and men who could help not to get involved, not to go there at all. Why? Because they lost so many seats, so many votes in the mining areas in 2020. So this time round, you can really tell that this president wants that business done with. Look at the commander, Colonel Dominic Bua.
Yes.
Very, very diligent in the work he's doing. And he's tackling it with such seriousness. You dare not even approach him with bribes. He's brought people to book for attempted bribery. Huge sums of money.
That's the head of NIMOS.
Yes.
But they're also complaining that they are not well resourced to deal with the menace as they ought to.
I think it's a gradual process. I'm very sure that the government is putting in the best.
Right.
Of course, we all know the economy we came to meet. We haven't involved ourselves in all this borrowing and printing of money, banknotes like the NPP did. We are just making do with what we have and what would have gone into corrupt pockets.
Right.
So it will take a little bit of a time.
Wow.
But, you know, in Akan we say agrobesa ifranopa. So we would have wished that a lot was pushed in there. But for now, we still appreciate the effort, and I know we will get to the stage where they will themselves be satisfied.
Because in the fight against illegal mining, one thing that has come up is the involvement of chiefs as well. They say some of the chiefs make it difficult for them. Nana, do you mind? Are you involved in mining?
No, I'm not.
Why are you being accused of seizing mining concessions in your jurisdictions?
I have not seized any mining concession.
Because the CEO for AC Zenon, Hajia Amina Tahiru, she says you seized their concessions.
That is not true. How can a chief seize concession? Let me tell you, since you've mentioned it, I even have some documents. I could let them bring it so I show it to you to show it to your viewers. Look, under the NPP, anybody at all could have a lot of concessions. This same Amina,
yes,
Madam Amina Tahiru, she has her company as
AC Zenon.
AC Zenon. And she has 8 concessions. We have about 35 million Ghanaians, and you only one person, you have 8 concessions. And the sad thing is, of all the 8 concessions, she only has 1 mining lease.
For the 8 concessions?
Yes. And she was all over the place at the time that in 2024 when I stood up against all this. Anyway, I don't know why she would rather bring it here, because we are in court and the case is at the court.
Right.
And she's decided she's not been coming to the court. I've been giving cost against that. Okay. Attempt to put an injunction on what she is doing has become a problem. You see, it's one thing to have a mining lease. It's another thing to have all the other required documents. It's one thing to even have a mining lease and then to use it as a guise and then be mining in places where even it doesn't cover your concession. I will stand here and tell you that I have not in any way taking any concession.
And the matter is in court, so we'll not even get into the
We don't even need to. But I'll show you all the documentations maybe when we finish and leave copies for you so that if the need arises, invite her and then interrogate her further. Because some of the practices are just not what we want. Even where a person has a lease and an EPA permit and all the other, it's quite a tedious kind of documentations that you need. Mining, yes. And then you stand on telly, stand in front of all the people and say that you are not doing any mining because you don't have all those documents yet. And yet, you are mining seriously and even engaging galamseyers to be mining on your concession. It is against the law. Yes.
That's a serious accusation.
Yes, it is. Right. But that is what's happening. So I have taken her to court. I have taken one of the galamseyers to another court at Kede and then tried to get an injunction on them. But, of course, the judge has not been very well, and so the case has been almost at that level. So we are fighting it. Even when you have a concession and you have the mining lease, you have to do responsible mining.
That's key.
You cannot go near rivers. The excuse they give, oh, I'm digging a dam. They dig the dam, create a diversion for the rivers. When the dams fill up and it's, muddied, they create another diversion for the river to re-enter the river and then flow back.
Right.
So it will be very difficult for us to make our rivers as blue as we want if we do not check some of these practices.
Absolutely. No, I wish we could continue the conversation. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. But what would be your words to the Ghanaian people in terms of supporting the agenda and the vision of the president for a better Ghana for all of us?
I would start with the youth who are involved in Galamsey, and I would plead with them. A few of them have become quite too adventurous to our liking, and we plead with them not to engage with any security agency that comes to stop Galamsey. The president, I know, will do well to increase jobs, and then they will have jobs to do. There are still several avenues that they could explore because it's still an illegality whether you like it or not. Ghanaians should have some patience. Already, Abampapa Abba, and Ghanaians are really, really happy with President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC and the work they are doing for Mother Ghana. It's seen on the faces of many. If it continues till 2028, I am very sure that NPP will not even get 20%. We all know the recent survey by Info Analytics.
Global Info Analytics.
Yes, it's that they are going down by 9%, whilst NDC is coming up by about 9%. Similarly, I always keep saying they should take their time, groom people of integrity, people who have Ghana at heart, just like their forebears did, so that when they come, they can do better for Ghanaians.
Right.
NDC will enjoy its time, maybe until the next 12 years or so. We pray that we keep going on and doing the best for Ghanaians to appreciate it. And then we also hope that until they give us that good opposition, they will keep going down. It's happened before.
Right.
Because from 1947, they've changed parties about 8 times till 1992. This is the longest period that they've actually been able to maintain NPP. It started with UJCC and then GCP and then NLM and then PFP and then UP, all those times.
Right.
Mostly they disintegrate and then they come back. With their current behavior, it's not going to help.
Absolutely.
They are against dissent. It is kebi mamin kebi amamu. People have a right to criticize, have a right to also commend you for the good things. But if you cannot even accept criticism, and then you set, quote unquote, attack dogs and sponsor people to just, put each and any person that tries to criticize you in a bad way is not the best for democracy. Look at what they did to President Kufuor. You know, a whole former member of parliament using such unprintable words against a former president because he thinks he spoke against President Akufo-Addo, which is not to be accepted.
Right. Well, Nana, thank you so much for coming, and I'm sure we should have you again, hopefully for longer, because there's a lot we need to talk about. Yes. But we're grateful that you made it. That's the Krontihini of Achimusium, Nana Bwedi Amponim Obodade the Third. Nana. I mean, sure, be well, it's lights, camera, action, and the stars have arrived. The spotlights, it's on the stage, and the stage is set. The cameras are rolling. The director is ready for a take. The Regal Film Festival and Awards is live, and the world is watching. So brace yourselves for the biggest celebration in the history of cinema, as RIFA is set to recognize, celebrate, and honor gallant men and women who have graced our screens on Saturday, which is just tomorrow, the 13th day of December 2025. The Palms Convention Center will receive the stars for the maiden edition of RIFA Awards. Be a part of the film festival from the 10th to the 12th of December at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. The festival is open to the general public, and the awards gala night will take place on Saturday, 13th December at the Palms Convention Center at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. So join the red carpet at 6:30 and the main show at 8 p.m. for an unforgettable night of glitz, glamour, and purpose. Performing live on the night, Sonny Badu, Diana Hamilton, Empress Gifty, Kim Promise, Kwampa Band, Patch Bay Band, Parrot Mouth, and all the way from Nigeria, Kiss Daniel. And our special guest of honor for the night is His Excellency, the President of the land, John Dramani Mahama. So get registered by visiting their website, www.rifaawards.com, and follow them on social media. This is still GA Today here on GH1 Television. We'll be right back. Here to give us some amazing, not performance, but telling us about something we need to all look forward to as well. I have Emmanuel Tete, who is a member of the Winneba Youth Choir, and Jeffrey Daniel Amwa, who is the administrator for the Winneba Youth Choir. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
How has it been for you guys? Let me start with you.
By the grace of God, everything's going on well.
And you?
Fine as well. You're managing.
You're managing. Hey, that's what they say. But when you go into it, then they are doing amazing things. Winneba Youth Choir, for those who do not know what you're about, talk to me about Winneba Youth Choir.
Okay, so Winneba Youth Choir is a choral group that started in Winneba in the year 1989. And it was founded by Mr. George Mensah Esifo and our current conductor and choir master, Mr. Francis John Atayamwa. And it started from the Methodist Church in Winneba.
Right.
And then it groomed all young people around Winneba and its environs to help groom people who are interested in music. And then from that time till now, it has been standing, and we've been able to groom a whole lot of people, and we are still doing that.
Amazing. And so is it still just the church, the Methodist church, that you source these people from to join the choir?
So when it started, that was it. But right now, we have members from all across different churches and backgrounds.
Right.
So if you know how to sing or you're interested in singing, when you join us, we'll be able to groom you as well.
Absolutely. Quite interesting. But then, I mean, we have what? 13 days to Christmas.
Yep.
What should we be looking forward to? What's the Winneba Youth Choir up to this festive season?
Okay, so there's a concert planned just this coming Sunday. That's just 2 days away.
14th?
Yes, 14th.
Right.
At the Labadi Beach Hotel. And then it starts at 7 p.m. So we are inviting everybody to come.
Oh, but talk to me about this concert. What is it really about?
Okay, so we have something planned next year. And then this concert is just like a fundraiser to open curtains for that event. And then, surprisingly, we are going to Japan next year.
Oh.
For a series of concerts as well.
That should not be the reason why you join Winneba Youth Choir, by the way. So you can go to Japan.
Yes.
Right.
We are just ushering people into the Christmas season, at the same time a fundraiser to help support their trip next year.
Oh, beautiful.
So Labadi Beach Hotel, 7 p.m. at the Pavilion. Yeah, so we are inviting everybody.
Absolutely. And how do people get to be there on Sunday? Do they have to pay?
The event is actually a free event.
Yeah.
Yes, we are opening it to or everybody actually.
So you come and witness Winneba Youth Choir. You don't have to pay to enter.
Exactly.
Hey, at me.
So we are giving the opportunity to everybody to come, especially our chief patrons and patrons and all choral music lovers. You can join us at the Labadi Beach Hotel on Sunday at 7 p.m. We're actually starting on 7 p.m. sharp.
On the dot?
Yes, on the dot.
Right. And what should people expect when they come there on Sunday?
I don't know if you've seen our recent videos across. Yes, so there are just some wonderful tunes that I know that we do them better. So if you want to hear them better, you just come. There are a series of hymns, anthems, and then our wonderful stuff of high lives. Just come and dance.
I'm excited about it already, but I know as a youth choir, also getting into the festive season, you get very busy because there are so many places for you to be at. Are you all booked, or people can still request your services during the season?
Okay, during the season, I can say from now till, let's say, up to the 20th, that we are booked from even today, tomorrow, and on Sunday as well.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. So after Sunday, we are actually not. It's actually open. Yes, it's open for booking for after Sunday.
Right. And how do people get to contact you if they have need of your services, they want your ministrations as well?
Okay, so you can contact the number 054 204 2004.
Just run us through the number again.
054 204 2004.
Okay. And so, Emmanuel, what would be the final word to people watching us today? Why they need to be there on Sunday with their dancing shoes?
First of all, let me just thank some people that have held us from 1989 till now. Chief patrons, the public in general. Okay. And then we just want people to know that after church, just go home, eat, feel free, just come to Labadi and then come and witness a whole new Christmas altogether, and then just come and dance.
Just come and
for
dance.
The dance and the
it's guaranteed.
Very necessary.
And Jeffrey, your final words as we wrap up the conversation.
We never eat kwa, it's still we never eat kwa. Sometimes some people are like, we don't hear of you. We are always there. We are everywhere, and then we are just ministering the songs onto the general public. Where we have to console people, we go. Where we have to join them in celebrations too, we are also there too as well. And then we just want everybody to know that if you come and join us, you are going to learn a lot. And we've actually produced a lot of people in the music industry, okay. Especially when it comes to core and all that. So if you join us today, there's a lot to learn and all that. So we are open.
They are open.
Everybody should come and then enjoy with us on Sunday as well.
Absolutely. So on Sunday at 7 p.m., we are not starting 7-1. If you come 7-1, you are late. At 7 p.m., we have the Winneba Youth Choir at Labadi Beach Hotel, and it's going to be an amazing time. Come support a worthy cause as well, because on that night we'll be raising funds as well to support them. You know, go to Japan and put Ghana on the map. Put Ghana on the Japanese map as well. So, guys, thank you so much for coming. We'll see you on Sunday in our dancing shoes with our wallets as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, but if you are a mother or a father, you are worried because every day you are changing your baby's diaper regularly after every time they poop, every 2 or 3 hours for newborns. You know, sometimes there are rashes that you get overwhelmed. Well, always remember, especially for girls, to wipe it from front to back. Clean gently with water or mild baby wipes and allow the area to air dry before putting on a fresh diaper. And make sure if you're looking for diapers, it's always Flora Kids baby diaper because they keep that little one dry, very comfortable for longer. And Flora Kids diapers are highly absorbent, very delicate on the skin as well, and can keep your baby dry for up to 12 solid hours. So call 0243 033 033 today to become a distributor, Flora Baby Diapers. But today being the 12th of December 2025, some wonderful people are celebrating their birthday. So let's celebrate with them as well. This one says, I fondly remember calling you Castro the Destroyer because of how passionately you poured your anger into your exercise books when you made mistakes. Despite that, your kindness was truly unique, and I still admire today. As you reach another milestone, I pray that the good Lord who blessed you with both a fiery and gentle heart continues to bless you abundantly. You will always hold a special place in my heart and mind. Happy birthday, Sandra. Hey, Bruno. And this from Bruno Grabby to you. This one says, happy birthday to Mr. Christopher Mensah, CEO of National Pensions Regulatory Authority and Board Chair of National Insurance Commission. Have a great celebration and God bless you on your special day. Said from Gazi Yampa of GHOne Television and Star FM. Here to you, sir. The heavens smiled on us the day our paths crossed. Ghana Institute of Journalism injected in my heart. Happy birthday to my best friend and the woman whose continuous faith in me has fueled my growth. I love you, Mama. And it's from Khadija Isifu to Bridget Ejapoma Amwano Ata. Happy birthday to you. Well, so before I hand over to DS, the golden boy, to bring you the countdown, Accra, it's time to get ready to feast your senses on Ghana's biggest culinary explosion tomorrow. 13th December at Good Park, Accra Mall is an Asanka affair presented by Osei Krumedianipa in partnership with EIBIT Network, GHOne Television, Star FM, Kesapa FM. And this is not just any food fest, it's a cultural movement. So tickets are selling out really, really fast. Visit www.avianipa.com or dial star 714 star 703 hash on all networks. Tell a friend to tell a friend is the Fufu Party on a Park 2025 at the Good Park Accra Mall. Tomorrow, we are all going to be there. Make sure you are there as well. Now, I am handing over to DS, the Golden Boy. He will be bringing his team, and they are going to look at some countdown of some videos, as we did last week here on the show. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. We'll be right back.